Before there was Manny Pacquiao or Floyd Mayweather, there was Oscar De La Hoya.
Makes good on his vow. I'm going to be a destroyer, he said, and a destroyer he was.
Whether you love him or hate him, there is no denying that he is one of the biggest stars to ever lace up the gloves. Oscar's journey as a professional boxer was nothing short of legendary. By the time he stepped away from the ring, Oscar had secured an impressive 11 world titles across 6 weight classes, including becoming the lineal champion in 3 weight divisions. But despite all of his accolades, why is it that he is so hated by everyone in the boxing and MMA community? What led to his fall from grace? Well, this is what happened to Oscar De La Hoya. His story starts off in East LA, where boxing runs in the family. His grandfather, father, and brother were all fighters. Oscar was next in line. His father, Joel De La Hoya Sr., believed in tough love. He instilled discipline in Oscar, pushing him to be his best. Meanwhile, his mother, Cecilia De La Hoya, provided the love and support that he needed as a child. This mix of discipline and care molded Oscar into a rough diamond. Oscar's journey took a significant turn when he won the gold medal at the 1992 Barcelona Summer Olympics, fulfilling a promise to his late mother. With 234 wins and only 6 losses in his amateur career, Oscar was already a household name. His gold medal win earned him the nickname that we all know today, the Golden Boy. As a professional, Oscar soared. He won his first title against Jimmy Berdal at just 20 years old, kicking off a winning streak that saw him go 31-0 before facing Felix Trinidad. Oscar's career was a whirlwind, fast-paced and thrilling. In 1993, he fought 9 times. In 1994, 5 times. Belt after belt, Oscar was unstoppable. Then, on June 7, 1996, came the fight that defined his career, Julio Cesar Chavez. Now, Chavez was a legend, a lion past his prime, but still dangerous. Oscar wanted to prove himself against the best. The fight was a clash of styles. Oscar, the polished golden boy, versus Chavez, the seasoned technician. Now, Chavez was no ordinary opponent. He had defended titles across 3 weight classes and held records for title fights and victories. Despite his age, Chavez was a force to be reckoned with. But Oscar was ready. He had sparred with Chavez before and knew what to expect. The fight turned when a cut opened over Chavez's eye early on. Oscar seized the opportunity, capitalizing on the injury. But winning against Chavez came at a cost. The Mexican and Mexican-American communities were divided. Oscar, with his good looks and hit and don't get hit style, wasn't the traditional Mexican fighter. Some fans saw him as a pretty boy, not a warrior. Beating Chavez did not win Oscar universal love. Instead, it made him a target. The victory was tainted by controversy and mixed reactions. Oscar had stepped out of the shadow of his heritage, becoming a star in his own right, but not everyone was cheering. After Chavez, Oscar faced new challenges. His fights became spectacles, each one a test of his skill and resilience. But fame comes with a price. As Oscar climbed higher, the pressure mounted. Personal issues and struggles outside of the ring began to take their toll. Now, we'll get into the details of all of his demons a little later in the video. But for Oscar, his troubles inside the ring were only getting started. At the very end of his career, Oscar faced 2 of the very best to ever do it, tarnishing his own boxing legacy in the process. First, he fought Floyd Mayweather Jr., often hailed as the greatest of all time in boxing. But at the time, Mayweather was just a rising star, hungry for recognition beyond just boxing circles. When the two faced off in the ring, Oscar was determined to tear Mayweather apart, but his emotions blinded him to Mayweather's strategic brilliance. Floyd, a master of defensive boxing, wasn't there to brawl. He was there to win efficiently. Despite Oscar's celebrity status, Mayweather's boxing skills were superior. Oscar, past his prime, was a shadow of his former self. While he remained a boxing icon, he could not match Mayweather's speed and precision. Mayweather seized the opportunity for a torch-passing moment, transitioning from rising star to boxing legend. Mayweather's victory over Oscar marked a turning point in boxing history. It was the rise of Money Mayweather and the decline of the Golden Boy. A year later, Oscar De La Hoya faced Manny Pacquiao in what would be his final fight, another passing of the torch from one boxing legend to another. He had defeated legends like Eric Morales, Marco Antonio Barrera, and Juan Manuel Marquez. Pacquiao, a smaller fighter moving up in weight from the start, that Pacquiao had all of the advantages. Despite the obvious mismatch, the fight was cemented Oscar's status as one of boxing's biggest attractions alongside Mayweather, but it also signaled the end of an era. Looking back, some argue that Oscar should have retired after the Hopkins fight. Others point to the significance of his bout with Mayweather for the sport. But in the end, what ifs don't matter. Oscar De La Hoya's career is one for the ages. While he may not be the greatest of all time, he certainly ranks among the top 20, maybe even the top 15. But then why did he have such a fall from grace in recent years? Why is it that no one has any good words to say to him? Whether it's Dana White, Mayweather, or Canelo Alvarez. Well, it's because behind his glittering career and fame, Oscar De La Hoya had to battle his toughest opponent, himself.
But my fucking inner demons are pretty powerful.
Right.
Yeah, very powerful.
Despite his achievements in boxing, Oscar felt lost outside of the ring. He confessed to turning to alcohol and drugs as a way to tame his inner demons. The glamorous lifestyle portrayed in the media was a facade hiding his confusion and pain. Oscar's struggles extended beyond substance abuse. He opened up about his strained relationship with his parents, particularly his mother. Growing up, Oscar felt emotionally disconnected, longing for love and validation that he didn't receive at home.
And the only communication with me and my mother was the fucking belt. Like, you do something wrong and this fucking belt is going up your ass, you know? That's the only communication I had. So in order for me to succeed at something, to prove to them, to show them that I can be somebody, I found boxing. I found my outlet.
In moments of vulnerability, Oscar sought solace in nightclubs, not for romance, but for a listening ear. He found himself pouring out his heart to strangers, craving understanding and connection.
I can express myself and not be afraid of what people think. You know? Why? Because I'm speaking the truth. I know who I am now, and I like this person. I always felt like the football player in that pile, you know, of 30 players, you know, and not being able to get up, you know. I always felt like that, you know, like losing air and not able to breathe. And
in 2007, shocking images emerged of Oscar dressed in fishnet stockings, women's underwear, and high heels, a revelation that sent shockwaves through the boxing community. Despite initially denying their authenticity, Oscar later admitted the truth, attributing his actions to a battle with drugs and alcohol.
Said they question your manhood. Like, how do you deal with it?
It's the truth. It's the truth. I accept it. I now accept it. I don't have to deny it anymore. You know, all these years I know that's not me. Wait, I didn't wear those fucking women's clothes. I didn't fucking drink.
Was that you, Oscar?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Now, amidst rumors of extravagant parties fueled by drugs and alcohol, Oscar faced accusations of engaging in cross-dressing sex parties, a scandal that tarnished his reputation and raised questions about his lifestyle off the canvas. Oscar's descent into addiction was marked by a cocktail of drugs, alcohol, and a tumultuous lifestyle. In interviews, he admitted to losing himself in a haze of substance abuse, struggling to break free from the grip of his inner demons.
When you say lose yourself, what does that entail?
Yeah, it entails drinking, it entails drugs, it entails women, it entails a lot of shit that just doesn't really benefit my life, you know, for growth and for becoming a better person.
Despite his outward success, Oscar battled some powerful inner demons, grappling with a duality that threatened to consume him. While he portrayed the image of a champion, his personal struggles painted a different picture, one of vulnerability and turmoil. Even Even the stories of how his personal life was didn't help his image. In the late 1990s, Oscar's relationship with Shanna Moakler, a former Miss USA, captured headlines. The couple's engagement ended abruptly amidst accusations of infidelity and abuse, leading to a high-profile legal battle that shook Oscar's personal life.
How did you tell your wife about your wrongdoing?
Well, when you're a public person, a public figure, people are gonna know. And unfortunately, she found out through the media. You know, then I have to come and confess to her the things I did. You know, to have a clear conscience. Okay, you know, this is what happened. You know, which was difficult, which was tough. You know, I mean, breaking their heart again. It's tough. It's difficult. I hate myself for it. You know, putting her through all that stuff.
Shanna Moakler, the mother of Oscar's daughter, Adriana Cecilia De La Hoya, alleged that Oscar's struggles with alcoholism and abusive behavior drove their relationship to its breaking point. The ensuing legal battle with a staggering palimony lawsuit cast a shadow over Oscar's public image. Despite the challenges, Oscar found love again with Puerto Rican singer Milly Correje. Their marriage, spanning over a decade, brought 3 children into the world. However, even this union faced its own share of trials. The two later separated in 2016. So to sum it up, there is no one reason why the Golden Boy has had such a massive fall from grace. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. All of that aside, as a boxer, he is still very well respected. But as a promoter, his reputation has been that of a snake. The man personifies Golden Boy, so anything revolving around Canelo is usually blamed on Oscar. From delaying the first Triple G fight to controversial judging and many other controversies. Even Canelo Alvarez, one of Oscar's most prized fighters, has voiced his displeasure with Golden Boy Promotions. He even got into altercations with De La Hoya and views Oscar's constant shuffling of trainers and managers as a sign of disloyalty.
I don't think so, but I don't expect anything less than that from Oscar. He just wants attention, and he don't care if he steals attention of his fighter. He don't care anything, but he's an and he just tries to steal money from their fighters, and that's it.
Similarly, Dana White openly hates Oscar because De La Hoya actively tried to sabotage the Mayweather versus McGregor match.
We do Mayweather-McGregor, and he starts instead telling people, do not buy this fight. This fight is a disgrace to boxing, blah, blah. But I'll fight Conor McGregor.
Right.
And then he comes back and says, I want to patch things up with Dana. We will never be friends. I respect him as a fighter.
Right.
I'm going to watch his documentary. And but yeah, personally,
Also, his attempt at the horrible Tito Ortiz versus Chuck Liddell fight did not do him any favors with the MMA community either.